All right, let's try and bring you the update on the ground on the protest led by the EFF and take you to Tembisa. And that's where there is a heavy police presence. Newzroom Afrika's Tondani Takalai is there for us. Good morning to you, Tondani. Anything out of the ordinary you are seeing there apart from the saturation of the area? That's a word, by the way, that is used by Begicele. He likes using that. He says, is the area saturated by law enforcement?
Well, anything out of the ordinary would be putting it lightly, Toli. I mean, you know, if you look behind me, you'll see a trail of destruction that's left from what we understand to have been hours of protests by people whom we cannot necessarily confirm to be EFF members necessarily, but the community. I mean, most of them are still standing by, as you will witness on the shot that you're looking at right now. On the side where I'm at right now, there's a heavy police presence. That is both the South African Police Services as well as the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan or Metro Police Department. I'm standing by with their spokesperson right now. That's Kelebogile Thepa. We're going to get an update starting with what has transpired since morning here. Kelebogile, please just take us through what happened here today.
From the early hours of the morning, we've had deployment as the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department, in conjunction with the South African Police Services, of course. On this piece of road, also known as Madiba Drive, we've seen such mayhem from protesters. I mean, we were trying to clear as we go, but seemingly they keep coming back and do the very same thing that you are seeing. But we wish to again confirm that the situation has subsided and that heavy police contingency, as you can see, has been monitoring the situation.
Have you been able to ascertain if this is part of the larger EFF national shutdowns protest, as it were? Indirectly, we could say that it's part of it, although we would never know, as you know, it's not like we see anybody wearing a certain regalia to make it easily identified to say that they are part of that. So it could go either way. But however, we do have intelligence on the ground, also just keeping an ear out as to what the next plan of action is from the protesters, and again, that we as law enforcers are rather readily prepared to handle any situation. Are you able to take us into your confidence as to what that intelligence is? Is this likely to continue throughout the day? Is it likely to be intensified? What do you know?
As it stands, we are seeing that the crowd is rather becoming exhausted, and we are keeping our head and rather information on the ground to say that, you see, they haven't been regrouping at any given stage. So with us having such information, we are better placed to plan ahead of any eventualities.
Thank you so much. That's the EMPD spokesperson, who have been monitoring the situation here in Tembisa. Now, obviously, the EFF have been saying that they do not want their protest to be, associated with violence. Obviously, fearing that their broader message will then be diluted. But we have now witnessed in two locations at least, incidents such as this where there has been, some violence, destruction of property and whatnot. What we noticed around here, though, in Tembisa is that shopping complexes, unlike there in Atteridgeville, where we witnessed about an hour or two ago, that they've opened and they are functioning today. Here, it's a different story. Shopping complexes have been closed, and there's a heavy police presence. Every turn that you take, you will find groupings of law enforcement officials. Only.
Tondani Takalai live for us in Alexandra Township. That's in the north of Johannesburg there. All right, let's continue to monitor the situation on the ground and give you the bird's eye view. Police Minister Begicele monitoring today's protests closely. Right now, the minister is getting that bird's eye view as you see those pictures. And on that chopper with the minister is Mbali Thethani. Mbali, good morning to you. And what are you seeing?
Well, Tony, we are coming to you live from up in the air and hovering over the Alexandra Township and specifically the Alexandra Plaza, where you'd remember that during the July 2021 unrest, this was really a hot spot And as you can see there, where my colleague is showing you those visuals in Namolo, you can see that members of the EFF are continuing with their national shutdown. And, they have gathered here just outside the Alexandra Plaza. And, they are continuing to be monitored by a police personnel. As you can see, there are also JMPD officials there on standby, also monitoring. I must say that we were expected to be under this chopper with the defense, but unfortunately, he has then left Toli and he has taken a trip. And of course, they're monitoring of the situation to Pretoria, and I also understand as soon as he's done in Pretoria, he will then head over to KZN. We understand that as members of the EFF continue with their protest, they do want President Cyril Ramaphosa to step down from his position, and they're also saying that they're highlighting the social ills that the country continues to face. And this is a high unemployment rate, and they are saying that they will forge ahead with this protest. So far, while we have been hovering over much of Johannesburg, I must say that the situation on the ground from a bird's eye view is that Johannesburg seems very calm, and there's not many protests taking place. This is the only protest so far we have managed to start. But we just heard from the pilot here that there may be some situation at Jablani Mall. So as soon as we are done here, I'll now head over to Jablani Mall to go and assess the situation there.
Mbali Thethani speaking to us from the skies, and we do apologize for the quality of sound there, but as you can understand the situation, she is live on the chopper and giving us that aerial view you are seeing right now. The police authorities monitoring this particular protest